when I worked at a children's hospital in a large inner city area farther up north from here, it was that oftentimes it was a reoccurring theme. Why are we adopting outside of this country when there are plenty of children within our country that needs help? And if you're not considering adoption yet, then at least consider fostering, and that we needed more people to open up their homes and doors to these children who are less fortunate. And it really changed my perspective on how the fostering system, like, I understood a little bit, but it wasn't until I became a pediatric nurse and I had an infant with healing fractured rib fractures, and they were healing at this point, and this is an infant. So for it to be healing would have been weeks to months of processing for his body to heal, and he's just laying there. And anytime I went towards him with a stethoscope, he would cry, because going towards his abdomen area was his pain center from the types of pain that he went through, and of course not being able to speak for himself. So it totally changed my perspective on things. I have not yet taken that leap to do what you've done and your wife has done, so that is very incredible and courageous of you guys. So I really do thank you. But then my son, he had a friend in middle school. Was it middle school? It was middle school, when we were living outside of Fort Bragg. And dad was military, we were military, but for whatever reason, when mom ended up not showing up anymore in Texas, the son was sent over to Fort Bragg to stay with his dad, and his dad wanted nothing to do with him and his new wife. So the child was then into the foster system in a state that he's not familiar with. He has family in Texas, but he belongs to dad biologically, so he was sent to dad. And this poor kid lived with one family for a little bit, was a phenomenal family, but again, another military family fostering him, and were expected to now relocate to somewhere else. And so because of that, they had to relinquish the fostering, and he went back into the system and just bounced from home to home to home, but stayed in contact with my son the entire time. And, from time to time, we would touch base with him, only to hear his foster mom wouldn't take him to go trade in the video game so that he can have $20 from the sale, and told him that, well, she's going to charge him for gas money. Just really, even foster parents who are not great foster parents, bad ones, who are in it for the stipend that they get from month to month, and not necessarily in it for the kids. And that was just really disheartening. So have you even also experienced a little bit of that as well?
Kids, I guess, coming from different homes and stuff like that. Like, if you really think about it, the stipend is for like basic needs. So
Mm-hmm.
as foster parents don't get compensated or directly
Right.
paid, but that stipend can go to whatever, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like you
Yeah.
said, somebody can have maybe 5, 6, 7 foster kids and then
Mm-hmm.
give them the bare minimum, no kind of events, no activities, no really nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
pocket that. I mean, personally, I can really make that stipend in like a day or two. So it's not one of
Right.
those things. But I mean, we've done things like taking kids to Disney World or flew them out west to visit family and drove all the way to like
Wow.
Kentucky and see like the life-size Noah's Ark and just random like the
Oh,
the miniature locomotive museum in the middle of like Pennsylvania. Just things that kids are interested in. Hershey Park, season passes to aquariums, and
yeah.
like Six Flags. So all of that obviously adds up and should be taken from that stipend. But like, if people just shove the kid in the room and said, just sit there,
Mhm.
watch TV and, eat the bare minimum, then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they could pocket that stipend. Nothing's really stopping them. But like you
Oh,
said, there are good foster homes and there are bad.
yeah.
Unfortunately, the public really sees a lot of stereotypes through film and TV in terms of
Mhm.
some of the bad situations and don't necessarily see or is highlighted in terms of like the good
Yeah.
foster parents and what they do and how they treat the children, because we treat each child like they're our own child. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a gift and a curse because it's heartbreaking when each child leaves, regardless if they stay a day or a year, because
Uh-huh.
you care about them, you love them, and more so you're worried about their safety and where they are and if they're safe. But
Yep.
like you said, there are people that kind of disconnect. Hey, this is it, you're staying in my home, it's just a home, and you're done and you move on. And it's
Mhm.
sad and unfortunate, but there are good homes like you said and there are bad.